Well, hello there. Welcome back to What About Farm. If you're new here, my name's Mike, and today we have our first commercial job. This is my neighbor's newly purchased 6610 Ford, and she's in full service today. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through her with a flying comb, and we're going to see everything that needs to be done to her and work our way through it. She is having a bit of a battery problem, I think, a starting problem. So sometimes the starter, Bendix doesn't want to engage or pop out, so it's just spinning and it's just barely grinding off the side of the flywheel and not fully engaging. So we're going to pull the starter off if I get a chance and have a look at that. And we're going to have him take the battery into town and get it tested for the condition. Anyway, I'm just letting her warm up there for a few minutes now because it's a bit nippy this morning. And then we're going to drain the oil and start servicing her. So let's get right to it. Now, hopefully we don't make a mess unlike last time. She should be plenty cold now. I need a cheat bar. Hold on. Oh, close. My nose is back. Now, did that break loose? Or did it just slip? Knowing my luck, it probably just slipped. Nope, broke loose. Thank you. There we go. You can tell this hasn't been changed in a while when there's rust on the bloody filter. Wrap your finger around this gasket for a nice seal. I always use fresh oil. Some people just use the oil, but I always that would help. I'm gonna write the date down before I do that. Now, just hand tighten that up. That'll be flowing all day if you let it. Now, good and tight. Right. So the other side for filling. Although I suppose we could change that one now. Have the filter here for it. Oh yeah. Okay. I suppose we'll change that hydro filter now. Or hydraulic, as some people will correct me on what you're saying. I don't tell me I need a cheap bar for a little filter. I don't want to talk about it. Oh. I don't think the previous owner ever touched that filter. Oh man alive. Rattlesnakes galore. Ooh. Well, looks like it needs it, so that's a bonus. Gosh, there's another one of these underneath the tractor, behind the back wheel. That's gonna be absolutely pleasant to get to. Oh. Yeah. Ooh. Whoever changed it last, or whoever put that one on, way too tight. Shut up. Whew. That is a headache in a piece of metal. There's no special place to write the tape. No. I was hoping that'd be a steal. It's the You see how tight that is? It's only hand tightened, please. Don't do it any harder than that. That's what she said. Anyway, well, the nice thing is it's nice and low rather than on 6, 8, 10. It's a little bit on the high side. We're using none other than Maxell 15W30 for this job. Ah, yes. Oh. Oh, look at that, like it's made for it. I can use the bonnet latch to hold the funnel so I don't spill oil everywhere. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Oh, because we just love spilling oil everywhere, don't we? Okay, next on the agenda, Archie No, is we're going to drain his coolant. Drain the coolant, I should say. I need a clamp for that. But effectively, we have our radiator up here, our cap taken off. We're gonna put it on here. We drain this plug. Ah, yes, it is gonna come out. And let me just get a little clasp right there and we'll be right back. Start draining. Right, have our little pipe on. Hopefully we don't get water everywhere. It's got a slight brownish color, so it's good that we're draining it. I mean, it's not the worst coolant I've ever seen, but the best. It looks like there's stuff in it. Well, not now, but there was. So, we're gonna leave that drain for a minute. And I will be flushing a bit through it, so. But yeah, let's let that drain for a minute. So I was just getting ready to fill the radiator and all that, and I decided I'd run it, I'd rinse it a little bit. And it's a good thing I did, because if you look on the ground, that's not a great color for coolant. That's very brown, kind of rusty. So I did run some water through it. I think it's, well, looks like it's mostly finished now, so whoop. It just doesn't look great. What we'll have to do is we'll have to put I'd love to put just water in it and then run it for a while and then drain it again, but if I do that, I'm gone for the week of college and I don't want to risk any kind of damage to the engine, so I think we're just going to put coolant in it, but we're going to have to change it again like next year. We're going to have to do another coolant change versus 2 years as recommended. So that's just the way that's going to go. The other thing is, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I cannot seem to find a coolant filter on this tractor. I mean, we've got our two coolant lines running along here to the back, but I can't see an actual coolant filter. So did the second generation 6610 just not have one, or is this one weird and it should be here? Because I know on mine, if we walk over to mine on the same left side, there's our coolant filter right down there. So it seems weird that there's none on here at all. Maybe it's hiding from me. But if you guys know where a coolant filter is on this thing, please let me know. Because we would definitely need to change that. A coolant filter is important on these tractors. Otherwise, they do pit. So, yeah. Right, so we have our jug of premium concentrated coolant, which we are now going to put in. And then we're going to fill it the rest of the way with water. Yeah, right. Doesn't look clean, but it is brand new. So now what we need to do is take all our stuff off from her, clean up, and run her for a bit to circulate everything we just put in her. Right, so we're now moving on to our fuel filters here. First thing we gotta do though is our fuel primer. I am about 95% sure that is not working. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it off. I do have a replacement here. The customer said to go ahead with it, so we're gonna go replace that now. We have a new seal for it and everything, and I got a new piece of steel piping here because this one is leaking. It's letting it draw air, so should be solving all our problems now. I think there's 2 or 4 bolts holding it on, so we're just gonna rip those now. I think it's just 2 of those. I actually have the new one here so we can tell exactly what it needs. Won't be the same color, but that won't stop it working. Alright, here we go. We have our seal and everything. Brilliant. Yep, just 2 bolts. And there we go, top and bottom. Brilliant. So, we're gonna get to work, ripping these 2 bolts, taking him off. And we got our 2 pipes coming in and out to fix as well. I have my new pipe down below. Yeah, something must be going inside there. It could be the diaphragm. I'm pretty sure this is the diaphragm pump. Not that it really matters because it's coming out. What size are we looking at there? Now, of course, everything in this tractor is going to be imperial, and I'm working in metric, so that's going to make it real fun. Come on. There we go. Right, we're going to set him off to the side for the moment. Have a look in here and make sure it's all clean. So yeah, doesn't look too bad. I mean, we've got half of a spring here, which is probably why it wasn't pumping. Not too bad. Your lift pump in there, okay. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean up this all surface here, because this is all part of the old filter, or gasket, and we're gonna put the new one on, and hopefully pump fuel, and be able to, change out these filters now, and be able to reprime them. So, we're moving on. Should be able to just feed him straight on. And yeah, I can actually feel him pumping now. Right, I have 2 bolts. Right, we have our pump installed. Well, mostly. I have this top one to put on now. Oh. Oh, drop me 13. Right, we have our pump on now, so we can start attacking these filters. Make sure that's like a 10. No? There we go. Oh, for joy. Right. Out with the old, and in with the new. Oh, still has a little bit left in here. No. Well, that's quite confusing. They didn't give me new seals for the top. Right, they didn't give me new seals for the top of the bolts, so I'm going to reuse the old ones. They don't look too bad. They actually don't look bad at all. I would have thought I got replacements, but apparently not, so that's the way that is. We do have a replacement. These out, so we use him. Right. There we go, we'll sit on top. Next year, when he comes back for his service again, I'll make sure to specially order those parts for him. Put everything backwards like normal. Well, that's going to be a little interesting to get on, the way that's going. We'll get it, it'll just be a bit of a pain. Right. One thing I'm forgetting. No, that's not for that either. If anyone knows what this seal's for, let me know in the comments down below. Doesn't seem to fit on anything here. Maybe there's a spot on the actual top of the filter that I'm missing. But, oh. Right, this is the gasket for the bottom here. I mean, it's similar. Doesn't really fit. I mean, I could try it, I guess. It doesn't? No, that's not going to work. Huh. It's not leaking, so I'm not going to worry too much about it, but they give you a seal. It's obviously for something, so This filter set could do multiple tractors, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it because it might be for another tractor that particular little seal's for, but we are missing a couple small gaskets. They'll have to last until next year. Jam that down, force that filter down. And with that, we should be able to go back out, reinstall these, prime them, and well, move on from there. I think we have a very bad connection on that starter. Right, we'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna clean some connections and we'll be right back. Right, so last night just got too late, so what I did last night is I put the two chargers on, our battery charger on, so we're charging our battery. I cleaned this connection here this morning, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna change both these. I have new connectors there, so we'll get a really good connection on the battery here. I mean, these aren't the worst I've ever seen, but if they're clean and I know the connection to the wire is clean, then we'll be certain. I mean, some people might just say, oh, you could just clean it and put it back on. If you got new ones, they're not very expensive, you know you have a really good connection. It's one less thing to worry about. So I guess it's loose here, and also this one's missing a bolt, so why would you go down that road trying to worry about that? This screw doesn't even have any way of grabbing onto it. I might end up just cutting these off, I don't know. There we go. That shows you how well that was on. Just rotten. This guy in there. Now, hopefully that will make a big difference starting it. That's clean. There's still a few more connections that I can go to and clean, but they actually look pretty good. Right, let's go sit up and see if that made any difference. Put my two charger cables back on.
clean connection now, so probably have the charging side of things as well. Right, so our belts. Now, if you look inside, you can see that the belt is sitting below the top of the pulley, which is below, that's supposed to be sitting on top of the pulley. That's worn out completely. And the same as with the other one. You can see it's actually inside the ridge. Focus up there, please. Yeah, you can see it's actually inside the ridge. So, there's two belts. Both need changing. I should have the right belts. I went to the shop yesterday and got them. So we're gonna throw them in now, and yeah, hopefully this is not too difficult. We'll have to see. Right, on with it. Well, first things first, we gotta loosen this tensioner so we can actually loosen the belt enough to get it off. This water pipe is conveniently right in the way. Okay. Now, we grab a hammer and we'll just tap that in. Is there another tensioning? Oh, there probably is, isn't there? Oh, there's one up there too. Oh boy. Loosen him as well. Oh man, he is tight. Hopefully he'll actually... Bigger hammer. Just feed it around the belt, or the fan. And there's the one. Whew. Off of there. Off from around the engine. And there's the other one. Let me grab my other ones really quick. Got our two new belts. Do the water pump one first, because the other one kind of goes on top, if that makes sense. Give it a bit of a stretching. I don't know how long it was sitting. Okay. Fish hook this around the fan. I can show you what I'm working with here. I'm going to turn on the flash. There we go. Oh, this is going to be really hard to show you. Got to get it around the fan. Which it is now. around the bottom pulley, which is coming straight off the engine. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Oh boy. Alright, I'm in 2 hands for this. Right, so it's been a couple hours. I had to take a break for a while and do something else, but we're back at it now. We have both of our belts installed. I gotta say, I think they gave me the wrong belt size because it was quite a squeeze to get it in. Very, very tight. We'll have to see how these go. If I see them wearing especially quick, we'll know that next time we'll have to get a different size. But he gave me belts for a 6610, so hopefully they're right anyway. Yeah, that's the story anyway. The alternator wasn't connected with this bolt before. They had just squeezed the hinge bolt, as I call it. They had just squeezed that especially tight, so it's back where it's supposed to be. You could tell the old belt was extremely stretched as well because it was way up. It was what the alternator was way up. So we have it back now, and it's bolted the way it's supposed to be, and it's at the right tension. It might need a small bit more tension, but we'll just have to see. I also checked our heater plug here. It is getting some voltage. It's only getting 9 volts, so I'm not exactly sure if that's enough, or maybe we have a break in the wire somewhere, but I can't even seem to get fuel to come to it, so we're not going to worry about that right now. She is starting. We have our 2 new connectors on top. What we need to tackle next is we have our power steering tackle next, and then there is one more filter underneath to do, which is the other hydraulic filter. This is kind of like a lift pump right here. So this is a hydraulic pump, it's a lift pump, and then there is the main pump underneath the right wheel. There is another filter, same size as that, underneath there, and that is the main, let's see if we can find it there. Be hard to see now, but that's it there. That's it there, and that is screwed in. That is right where the hydraulic pump is. So, right. So we're going to. I think we're going to tackle the power steering first, and then we'll move to that filter. We do have a couple other things to do in this, but that's the majority of it done then. So we're gonna move on to power steering now, and. Go. Nice, they're both off the ground. Perfection. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the tractor, we're going to pull one of these pipes off, we're going to drip it into a bucket, and we're going to rotate the wheels a whole bunch of times. Hopefully what that'll do is that should drain the whole system. Then we can start pulling at this and take this bolt off, and this whole thing should slide off. We put in our new filter and seal, and we should be good to go. So first thing I suppose is the bucket and the hose, and then we should be good to go. Not the nicest looking stuff. It's quite brown. Right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hose back on, tighten that all up, and then we're going to go at the actual filter there. Won't bore you with the details, you just saw me undo it, so we'll just plug that back in and get going on our filter. doesn't look too bad. I don't know what you guys can see. Got a bit of, oh, turn it up a little bit. Got a little bit of corrosion happening on the top, but I'm gonna go clean that down, put our new filter in, put that in, and we should be good to go. I'm pretty sure they gave me a seal for that as well, but I'll have to double check that. Alright. Seal through there. Much cleaner now. Couldn't really get everything out of there, but it's good enough. We have a white seal here. There's a white seal. He goes inside, sits there. Get out of there. Go for a seal. I am 90% sure. Yeah. It makes no difference which way it goes. No. Whoa. I'm gonna get slightly awkward, but we'll manage. Use your screw to pull him straight back in. Use here. We're going to pre-fill this, much as it'll take, and then we're going to start the tractor and run it a bit because we're going to have to bleed all the lines and we'll have to be topping it up constantly. So, are you on up? Keep going. Make sure I'm not leaking everywhere. No. We appear to be fine. It's always a good thing to check. Now, as you can see, we're just below the top. We're going to start the tractor, exercise the wheels, and top up as needed. Need to wipe all this down now. We have a mess everywhere. Right, bit of exercise. Okay. At bloody start. Well guys, I hate to say this to you, but I'm gonna have to cut this video short as there's just too much to show you and too little time left. But if you did enjoy, I'd really appreciate if you could hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, feel free to subscribe to the channel as we got more coming soon. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good year. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you hopefully one more time before 2024.